Hi, this is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual, and today I'm very excited. I finally found a video clip of Rick Martin, the constitutional lawyer, and he gets to say his little bit here, and we're going to call this one Sovereign Citizen number 13. Let's do it. Well, here we go. Rick Martin, constitutional lawyer. He's not a lawyer, not licensed to practice law, and he doesn't know anything about the Constitution.
Sir, apparently you have problems with the English language. This says appearance. It is for lawyers. Do not argue with me, because what will happen is you'll get another 93 days and then we'll start over. So, sir, you came in here wanting to be assistance of counsel. There is no other definition. It is plain English. You can cite cases all day to me. You're entitled to a hearing. Your rights remain intact. But for today's purposes, you are under arrest for contempt of court, this court. You may be escorted out. Thank you.
I don't go anywhere without this. This is my traffic book right here. And if you read down below, public...
Oh, that's cute. He made a little binder.
Public servant officer. It pretty much says to him, when a cop pulls me over, you're losing potato chips. But when a cop pulls me over, the first thing I do is I ask him, what's your emergency and how may I assist you? And he's going to ask for my driver's license and insurance or whatever. And I said, well, before we go there, I need you to fill this out. And
Let's see how this works in real life. I happen to do a video on this already.
Take that sheet of paper out of there and hand it to him.
No, I need you to fill this out first, sir. I need you to fill. All right, I didn't say that, but I'm just letting you know I've dealt with this before. Okay? So, no, I need you. Do you want to see the video? You want to see the video? I need you to fill this out. I'm traveling, guys. Guys, behind your back. Look at my phone in my pocket. There you go.
Before we can go any further, you need to fill this out. Once he reads this, it already puts him on notice that I'm not playing games with him. And then you open up the book, and that is so poignant.
I mean, that is pretty good. He used a pretty big font, and it's bolded. So that means that he really, that has a lot of weight.
And here's the case I won against Harris County. Harris County, I always take my name out because I'm not going to give my name until you can give me what's called, and police always call it, it's RAS. What's your RAS? And they automatically assume I'm a cop because I'm using their lingo. And
it's lingo.
What RAS stands for, reasonable articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. Okay, you don't have that? Okay, what's your SAF? Single articulable fact. Well, you don't have that either? Okay, you've just basically said that there's no reason to pull me over because you haven't seen a crime.
I like how he just has this fantasy made up. First of all, if you get pulled over, they would probably respond with something appropriate to the situation. But whatever, let's assume your unicorn script is really working here.
Okay, here's the case I won against Harris County. You can see the stamps and date.
No, he didn't. He didn't win anything. This is garbage. To the extent that I can read it, it's clearly something that he produced, and it's very low quality.
And they ended up buying me a brand new Porsche 911 Turbo all-wheel drive convertible.
Don't believe it.
With them pulling me over and letting me spend a night in jail. So, and here's the lawsuit.
Show us the check. Show us the Porsche. Show us the order of judgment in your favor. I'd love to see it. I know you don't have it.
And I've got these for everybody to see. And you can see that it's all put together. And there it is, signed by the DA and stamped, showing they lost the case.
It doesn't show that they lost the case. You have a piece of paper, which you show briefly, that has a stamp on it and a signature. We don't know what the contents of the paper are. I've heard you say something that I simply do not believe, but I seriously am willing to be proved wrong. If you want to, and you have this evidence, show it to me. I will put it on my channel, and I will say you, in fact, do have it. It's possible. I just don't believe it.
case.
And they lost it, and they paid
And
you
I
what?
sued them.
And what did you win?
$250,000 for a night in jail.
Frankie is officially skeptical.
And then Supreme Court says no license necessary to drive an automobile public highways.
Never said that. Supreme Court has never said that.
Now these are all documented. So what this is called stare decisis. Okay, we're running a case that's already been won in the Supreme Court, and they're in violation of their oath of office when they don't pay attention. My license plate doesn't give you. If you look at my license plate, the license plate alone says I'm not in commerce. Now, if I have
this does not say that you're not involved in commerce. It's just it's a well-known old symbol. That's it. It does not say anything you think it says.
car over here and that car over there, they all have license plates. License plates mean I'm engaged in commerce.
No, they don't. They just mean that your car is licensed.
I'm not engaged in commerce. This doesn't give them the authority to pull me over because they see that. What
They don't need a license plate to get the authority to pull you over.
where do you see that I'm engaged in commerce? What gave you that suspicion that
What gave you the suspicion that it matters?
I'm engaged in commerce? You have the right to travel freely unencumbered, and that's all in the law. And when we look at the law books, Supreme Court has already ruled on this. And you go back to what is a license, and I want people to do their own homework. Go read the case of Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, or read the case of Shuttlesworth versus the city of Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, let's do. Both Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham and Murdoch versus Pennsylvania stand for the proposition that you cannot charge a fee for a constitutionally protected right. And in both of those cases, it's First Amendment. One is religious, one is more speech and assembly. And they're good decisions, and that makes sense. However, where this analysis falls apart for Mr. Martin here is that driving a vehicle on the public roads is not a constitutional right. There's an implied right to travel, and that's between states. But driving a motor vehicle on the public roads is not a constitutional right. The courts could not be clearer about this. And therefore, this argument just doesn't work.
These are showing that you don't need a license. A license is to do something that is immoral, that's sanctioned by the government, like a 007 license to kill. Okay,
or fishing.
That's immoral. They need to be licensed by the state. In other words, they're protected by the state on that. There's nothing immoral about leaving my house to go get a gallon of milk. I only need a license.
No, but it is a traffic violation.
If I'm using the public property, the roadways are public, and they're paid for by the gas tax, okay? They're not paid for by traffic violations. So when you get into the law, this is what scares most cops, and I'm going to get to it here if the wind would stop for 1 second. This is what most cops don't like, because they don't know it. It's non-emergency use of emergency vehicle lights and sirens is a felony. Pulling me over for a traffic violation, they just committed a felony.
How many police officers have been convicted of this felony? And how many times have you seen sirens on the road? Just saying.
And if they don't have reasonable suspicion that I'm engaged in commerce, they're done. And I'll bring out my brother's. I'm going to put this away real quick. I'm going to bring State Trooper. This was his book that he had in his car. Okay. Texas Criminal and Traffic Law Manual. I went to his car and I made him read this. And you're going to love this. This is out of their own law books. This is the LexisNexis. And it says under section 502.003, registration by political subdivision prohibited, except as provided by subsection B. A political...
This is Rich. It just doesn't state what he means. I mean, I read that as a political subdivision would be a subdivision of Texas. And they're saying, look, we've already taken care of the registration issues statewide, and we don't want to do it piecemeal, city by city or county by county. So, I mean, that's just the way I read it. on its face, number one. Number two, it also has an exception, which is just funny.
Subdivision, a political subdivision of this state may not require an owner of a motor vehicle to register the vehicle, pay a motor vehicle registration fee, or pay occupational tax or license fee in the connection with the motor vehicle. This section does not affect the authority of a municipality to, right here, license and regulate the use of a motor vehicle for compensation. So if I'm not engaged in compensation, being paid to go from point A to point B, I don't need a driver's license. I don't need to register my automobile. And it is an automobile.
What about Massachusetts?
All traffic codes are pretty similar because they're all federal.
Nope, they're not. They're all in the state. He says all traffic codes are federal, as he's holding the Texas vehicle and criminal code. And why is it that? Because his brother or somebody was a police officer, and they needed that for a reference because it's state law.
They're pretty much the
Is
same.
that a copy of Massachusetts?
It's going. You can
online?
You can find it, and I will tell you. You go to like Amazon or eBay and buy a used one. My brother had to pay $300 for this book. Okay, and then you look at it here. Imposed a permit fee or street rental charge for the operation of each motor vehicle, okay, used to transport passengers for compensation. So who needs a driver's license?
Anybody who wants to drive a vehicle on the public roads.
A taxi driver? Anybody that's engaged in making money using the public property.
Wow, well there you have it. Finally got video of Rick Martin, aside from him getting thrown in the clink there in Michigan. But that was short. This one we got to let him give his argument, and as you can see, it was awful. It's unbelievable that people listen to him. That's what's unbelievable to me. Well, as you can see here, I've got my fancy Sovereign Citizen Patrol t-shirt on. It's pretty cool. I got another one here. They all say Law Talk with Mike on the back. And ladies, I didn't forget about you. Here's the Sovereign Citizen Patrol shirt in pink. Law Talk with Mike on the back. And if you're bold enough to take a picture of yourself in one of these and send it to me, you can join the Sovereign Citizen Patrol and hang out with Ollie.